What's up, gamers? Welcome back to the video. In today's video, we're going over the key to throwing good Valk cams, Rainbow Six Siege. Before we're going any further, links on my social description below, so make sure you go check those out. Now, the key to a good Valk cam is throwing it in a couple different ways. You can throw it where it's dark, where it's light, or where it's crowded with lots of materials. And what I mean by that is, for example, this is one of my favorite Valk cams to use. It's on this aqua balcony, not aqua balcony, but in this like a little aquarium thing. Throw it right there. First off, it blends in pretty well. But from all the way back here, you like legitimately cannot see the cam. You cannot see the cam at all. You kind of see a glint of it, but unless you're looking really hard, you're really not going to know it's there. So this is where it would blend in. It's kind of dark. For example, where it's inside of something. You can throw it in this lamp. A lot of people throw a Valk cam right there. Again, can't really see it. The field of view is pretty good, mainly for watching this plant or when they push into sight. And you're really not going to know. You're really not going to see this. You might not look down there. That's another good tip. Different levels. Throw them on the floor. Throw them in the ceiling. Lots of people look for them in the ceiling, though. So throwing something like down there or like in this lamp, people won't expect as much. Now, this might seem like common sense, but too many people I see just throw Valk cams like this. They just throw them in this corner and are surprised when they get shot. That's such a default Valk cam because the default cam is up there. So people are already subconsciously looking for cameras in the top corners. So if you throw them lower, like in this lamp, in this aquarium thing, they're not going to be looking on there, or they're going to be a lot less likely to, especially in the lower ranks. Now, that's an example of a dark Valk cam, or just a Valk cam surrounded by things. You can do this, or you can apply this with anywhere on the map. For example, you can throw Valk cams in trees. Now, I kind of underthrew this, but even though I did underthrow it, you can still see all of the roof, which is good, especially if they have a Habana or somebody trying to open up quad wall. You can see them push the hallways, push courtyard if anybody drops onto the platform. And again, it's hard to see, especially depending how you're looking at it. I feel like a lot of people do throw Valk cams in the corners, and sometimes that is good. But like I've been saying, you really want to throw them either in something or on a light or anything like that. One of my favorite Valk cams I haven't really seen anybody do, or a lot of people do, is throwing a Valk cam kind of like in between these lights or on one of these lights. And you want to throw them on something that's kind of like nobody's really going to look at. Now, yes, that is very obvious if you're looking there, but nobody's really going to be looking at this light, for example. This Valk cam survives a lot of the rounds I use it in. But if you don't want to use that Valk cam, throwing them inside of lights, for example, on this white stairway, you can throw a Valk cam like on this little sign right here. Most people won't be looking right there. Or you can throw one even up here onto one of these lights. Now, this is a very situational Valk cam. It really relies on them pushing white stairs. But this is a good cam for watching white stairs, watching luggage. And who is really going to look up here at this light? You need to be thinking about where people will look. You don't want to throw a cam like a lot of people throw cams in here. Those aren't really that good in my opinion. They're pretty predictable, like at eye level. Like I've been saying, you want to throw them either high or low or in a light, anything like that. Now, something you want to avoid when you're throwing Valk cams is throwing such general like area descriptive Valk cams. And what I mean by that is something that only sees a certain spot. For example, this Valk cam on this tree sees all of the roof and these hallways and courtyard on this platform. It sees a lot. To be honest, I don't really recommend throwing a cam up here because you can probably tell when somebody's on the roof, and you shouldn't really be peeking anybody on the roof. So you don't really need that intel, in my opinion. But this is still a good one if you don't know where to throw a last one. You can kind of see like this whole general area, which is pretty important. But something like this would be better as well, in my opinion. But now, what's really, I feel like a lot of people do incorrectly, is they throw Valk cams just to see it like a certain area. Like, this is a bad example because nobody would throw this cam because it's a bad cam. All you can see is this double door and then this blue hallway door. Now, what I feel like is bad about that is that cam can be rotated to see so much more. If you simply throw it in a different corner, you can see all the way down. Okay, well, I threw this one bad. But basically, if you just rotate where you throw the cam slightly, you can see down this whole hallway, still see this door. You kind of lose visibility of this sunrise door, but you can still see cool vibes. You can still see this. You can see this whole hallway now, still see the blue bar door. A lot of people throw cams just to see one specific thing. For example, if you throw a cam right here. Now, I've never seen somebody throw a cam here, but all this sees is pretty much just the sunrise entrance and just this side of the bar. You can't tell if they push up past this point, and then this cam becomes useless later in the round, because who's going to be back here with 30 seconds left in the round or within this line of sight of the cam? Now, this is a good cam. People probably won't shoot it, but you can turn this cam into something better by throwing it up here. For example, this still sees generally the same area. You might want to throw it a little bit differently because this cam, you obviously cannot see that much with it. Maybe throw it inside this cabinet. But this seems the same area. It still sees this half of the bar, but you can also see up until this half of sunrise. You can see a little bit of the hallway, anything like that. You just want to throw cams that can see more. Now, of course, it is okay to have a cam that sees specific things. Like you have a cool vibes cam. Like this cam right here is a white stairway cam, but it also can see kind of like this hallway into luggage. This pretty much can see cool vibes. Also can see vase and billiards. It's hard to throw a really bad cam. Well, actually, I take that back. It's easy to throw a really bad cam, in my opinion. Lots of people will throw a cam, and it literally doesn't really see anything. They'll throw it possibly just in this corner, for example, and it just sees 90. Like, this is an okay spot, but really you could be seeing so much more if you just turn the cam and you throw maybe in this corner. Now, 90 is not the best place to throw a cam because there's not really a lot of cover for your cam to be thrown, but definitely just try to apply that principle. If you throw a cam, you're like, always check a cam as you throw it, or think, what will this be able to see? What will this not be able to see? Now, this cam in that plant, this cam over here, this can see kind of the general thing. It can see all, this cam sees all of Aqua, this cam sees behind the bar, and then the push. Lots of people, I feel like, throw cams, like you throw a cam in sight. Cams in sight are not good, in my opinion, simply because if they're in the objective, you pretty much already lost. Right, because there's only so many places that people can plant. Usually they'll plant default, which you can nitro cell without any intel. And if they aren't planting default, then they're going to be really deep within the site, and you probably won't even be able to recover the site. If they're already so deep inside of site and they have all this control, you're really not going to be able to take over or take back the site. I would much rather have a cam that sees the hallway, sees Aqua, sees the stairs, so that they can't get to the site because I already know where they're coming from and can adjust and then get there. But that's all I have to say. If you enjoyed or learned something, remember to like and subscribe. All my socials are linked in the description below. Thank you for watching, and peace out, gamers.